Your Cincinnati Bengals are 2-1 after getting their first victory of the season over the New York Jets. This is Bengals on the Brain. I am Joe Goodberry, part of the Cincinnati Bengals Talk YouTube channel. And the Bengals won. So that's a good thing. We can start with there. It's a little bit more fun to watch film and break things down when the team comes out and pulls it out. And especially because I think this game was cathartic in a lot of ways because they've been starting very slowly. Not just this year. It's a thing that's gone back throughout, I think, most of Zach Taylor's era with the Bengals. Starting slow, looking like a lot of times two different teams, whether it be the first half, second half, start off good or end poor, start off poor, end very good, or at least better, like the first 2 weeks. The Bengals here came out and needed to show a few things. We had questions after last week. A lot of them focused on Burrow. But if you follow me on Twitter, at Joe Goodberry, just the way it sounds, I said a lot of things about the coaching and about the play calling and the offensive design and how I think they could synchronize things a little bit more. And the big problem through the first 2 weeks was when Joe Burrow was under center, the Bengals were running the ball at like a 90% clip. I think it was even a little bit more than that. When they were in shotgun, they were passing the ball at about a 90% clip. So if your defense and you see them under center, you're selling out for the run. It's why the play action isn't working either. They're just no respect for the pass game at all at that point because you're guessing right 9 out of 10 times. And if it's a pass or if it's a Burrows in shotgun, and especially if they're empty, I like the empty, but it just goes to it more. If you're in shotgun and you're throwing 90% of the time and we don't want to let Jamar Chase gritty in the end zone, well, we're going to keep everyone back and play cover 2 and not let anything over our heads. And it's really what has plagued the Bengals offense so far this year. Is just way too predictable. I do think some of the game script has led into that. When you are down 14 points in both games to start, you can look more predictable. You can't pull out, you can't go deep into the bag of tricks and really make things look different. And at least the data is going to be exactly what it is on a small sample size like that when you're not in a neutral situation. Point being is, what did the Bengals need to do? There were some analysts and some people that said, put Burrow under center more often, run more power, things like that. I didn't buy that. My solution, my suggestion, my thought was to run everything out of shotgun. Okay? Burrow looks much more comfortable in shotgun. He rarely drops back to throw from under center. We saw it the first play against the Cowboys. I can't tell you the last time he's done that. So it's a very rare thing that he's going to drop back and throw from under center. So if the offense is built around Burrow and these passing weapons, well, then get Burrow in the shotgun because that's what he works at. That's what he works best off of. And the running game has to be an extension off of that. The running game can't be completely different from the passing game. Not if you want defenses to guess a little bit on what's going on. So what I was looking for in this game was, will they run out of shotgun? Everything. Running the ball plus running the offense out of shotgun. And if you can do that, defense isn't going to be able to key on what you're doing, right? They're not going to be able to say automatically they're running the ball. So the first drive is what we're going to focus on this first video because those are your scripted drives. This is what you practice all week. It's a game plan you put together between Zach Taylor, Brian Callahan, Dan Pitcher, the quarterback's coach, and Joe Burrow. And you put this together all week because this is your plan of attack. Now, there was also another thing, right? We talked a lot about the cover 2 the last 2 weeks and broke it down extensively because it really was, you could see the Steelers almost never did it last year, and they do it second highest rate in the league. Cowboys weren't a high cover 2 team. They busted out a whole bunch against the Bengals, especially the Tampa 2. So it was obviously a tool to use against this Bengals offense, and they're still, I think, figuring out how to beat it. But the Jets, we knew, were not a cover 2 team. 2% of the time coming into this game. So that's 2 snaps total this year. They played cover 2. So would the Jets be different? Would they completely scrap who they are and go out there and try and be a cover 2 team and really take away the deep ball for the Bengals? And would the Bengals come out and be a completely different team on offense, or at least, it's kind of funny. Different, but they're going to look the same every time pre-snap. And that's why I was looking for in the first snap, and that's what we're going to break down first. Opening drive versus the Jets. Bengals come out in shotgun. Jets show a single high safety and then appear to rotate, but it's not a full rotation. Ball comes out real quickly as a pre-snap read for Burrow. He can see that there's nobody on the slot receiver. Quick check to him, and they keep it moving. Shotgun again, empty, right? So it's obviously a pass play. So let's see what the Bengals have here as the Jets are showing a blitz on the right side. The Bengals look like they're going to pick it up on the right side. Jets actually bring it from the left. Burrow sees it real quick, flips it out to T. Higgins. It's a really good throw getting hit. It's a good catch, too, just to get something out of it. So now they're under center. And it's like, okay, so here's their run. There it is, running. Oh, we pull something out of the bag right away. And they've got the throw to Chase here. You're one-on-one with a safety. It doesn't work, but I think the play works. I think the call works, definitely based on their tendencies. This normally gets caught by Chase. For whatever reason, he leans inside, and the ball actually falls just over his outside shoulder. So I thought that was odd that he was unable to track that deep ball, normally a strength of his. So the Bengals come right back out in the shotgun again, so this should be a pass, right? As we're talking about the tendencies, what are they doing? Look at the Jets showing too high. Are they actually going to play too high? They're not. They rotate it, and it's a middle of the field closed look. So Burrow quickly goes to the sideline, back shoulder to Higgins. Under center now again. Must be a run. No, it's a play action. We're killing tendencies all first drive. They get a nice look at Boyd running down the middle, gets a safety and a linebacker on him. Easy pickings for him. Now we're in shotgun again, right? With a little pre-snap motion. Want to set that up because there's been a lot of misdirection already on the first drive, something we asked for after week 1. We're getting that, and we're breaking tendencies with a run out of shotgun, and yes, it doesn't work. I get that, but you're also adding to the numbers, something for other teams to scout and know they can't key on it. We want to look at Logan Wilson, though. He gets up to second level. C.J. Mosley, hey, that's a shoe on the ground. This is a decleater by definition, and he gets a little pancake at the end. Nice job, Logan Wilson. And we're right back out in a shotgun for the Bengals as we look at, we've got a single high safety. We've got 2 receivers to the right, and we're going to really flare out Joe Mixon right at the snap. It looks like they rotate into a cover 2, the Jets do, so it's like the first time I would say that's a cover 2, or at least 2 deep safeties. They did a lot of quarters in this game, and 2-man, 2 high and man coverage underneath. So again, shotgun again. I want to keep moving here. You get a good look here with 3 receivers all split to the right. You end up with Tyler Boyd on a linebacker. They're just picking it apart right now. Everything they're doing is working. They're breaking tendencies. They're mixing in different looks. And I want to show you Hayden Hurst. Shout out to Hayden Hurst. Get some. Just like Volson, we saw him bang Carl Lawson, and then the safety. Ball goes to Tyler Boyd. Well, good job, Hayden Hurst. Shotgun again. Now 7 for shotgun, 2 for under center. Again, we got pre-snap motion. We got Jamar Chase screaming from one side to the other. Low jet motion. I don't like it when they snap after he goes by, but then you got the fake to Mixon and a shovel to Tyler Boyd. This is actually a really good play. We had some complaints about the last shovel pass they tried. Was that week 1 or week 2? Doesn't matter. Point being, they've tried one. This one's a little bit more creative with a lot of candy, a lot of things for the defense to look at. And again, the Bengals, that to me, that's successful. You get a holding call, whatever. You back them up 10 yards. The 10th play here, again, shotgun. 8 out of 10 shotgun, flaring Mixon out again here. You could get some blockers. He really doesn't pick up enough. I think the blocking could have been a little bit better. Timing of the play was a little bit off. We're back in shotgun again, 9 out of 11 snaps now. This is the play that a lot of people learned about the heel rule, but the Jets are looking like they're going to have 2 safeties deep, or is it a blitz because they walk that safety right over top of Tyler Boyd? I think Burrow reads this correctly, and it's going to be a quarters coverage, which basically is a man-on-man now on the outside for T. Higgins. He gets the top of his drop. He lays a really nice ball to the back of the end zone. T. Higgins jumps through the moon looking like Calvin Johnson, and your heels come down out of bounds. It is incomplete per the rule. Now we get to the last play of the drive. 12th play, 10th in shotgun. And the Jets got 2 safeties back again, but they're really looking. They're keying double, and look at Jamar Chase, right? Just like the Cowboys did. It's more of a quarters coverage for the Jets. Burrow gets pressured, stays with it, buys time, gets his eyes back up. This is off script. This is stuff we talked about last week about remaining a passer, becoming a passer again, even if you have to escape. And I thought Burrow did a really good job here. It seems to slowly starting to get back to where we saw last year. And just like it did last year, right? It took him a few weeks. You see there, he's really not overextending himself. He's protecting the ball. He runs. Now he picks his eyes back up, sees
Samaje Perine for the touchdown. Because if you'd have tried to run for that, obviously they're going to end up kicking a field goal. So it's a good job getting your eyes back up, finishing off this drive.
So they ran everything out of shotgun. Personally, that's going to make me happy because I think that is one of the major solutions to making everything look the same, right? So I'm happy with that. You get a trick play right away. You get some play actions from under center, which obviously if you're going to run under center 90% of the time, the other 10 are probably going to be play action passes. So they knew when to pull that out. And the Jets stayed in a single high defense, whether that's cover 1 or cover 3. They make some adjustments in the second half. They play more quarters. I think the Bengals struggled a little bit. I think data said it was 14 cover 1 or cover 3 and 14 cover 2 or cover 4 against the Bengals. So they ended up doing much more of that in the second half. And I think that's what slowed down the Bengals a couple times. There was 2 deep shots the Bengals didn't, or Burrow didn't throw. One to Boyd up the seam against the cover 2 that was open. Ends up being the Jamar Chase fumble play. He comes out of the backfield and I don't even know what that route was. It was that thing. And then he fumbles it, if it was a fumble, whatever. Point being was Boyd's wide open. So I don't know if they were just trying to get the ball to Chase there, trying to see what the defense look would give them with Chase coming out of the backfield. But could have been a 30-yard throw. Anyways, there was another one against quarters where you have a post and a deep out, kind of like a scissors route or scissors combo. Burrow goes for Boyd on the sideline throw. It's a far throw. It's 3rd and 15. He's a click late. Almost gets picked off. Boyd does a good job knocking it down. But I posted this on Twitter too. Higgins ends up streaking down the field by himself as the corner peels back on Boyd. There was a confusion there. Are you going to switch between the safety and the corner, or are you each going to play man? I think he should have played man and kept going. And I think most quarterbacks with that type of protection just load up and launch that thing. I don't even care if the safety stays on Higgins. You're going to launch that up. I don't care if the corner stays on him. So you just don't want to throw it in double coverage. So the offense looks great in the first drive. I think for the most part, they did what they had to do. The run game struggled most of this game. Joe Mixon really had an off game again. Samaje Perine looked good, but they were running different. It's different kind of. They had 12 personnel, which is 1 running back, 2 tight ends. They had an extra offensive lineman out there in Deontay Smith. Or was it Hakeem Adeniji? It was Adeniji. And they were just grinding it down the Jets' throats for the last 8.5 minutes or whatever it was. Kind of a different scenario. Perine had a great game overall. Caught a touchdown. Had a nice blitz pickup. Had some communication with La'el Collins to make sure everything got picked up. But the star was Trey Hendrickson, man, on defense. We haven't even got a chance to really talk about defense. They've been great through 3 weeks. But we've been so focused on getting the offense right and making sure, we're seeing at least some traits of improvement or signs of improvement that, a guy like Trey Hendrickson has a game where it could have got ugly or it could have been way closer than it was. If you'd have had a couple of these sacks in the first 2 games, they may have won those games. But you get 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 8 pressures. I want to say 6 quarterback hits, if I remember from PFF, graded like a 95, which is elite. Just tremendous. He didn't have much competition there at left tackle, to be honest with you. But let's look at him and relive those plays because they're pretty awesome. Huge performance from Trey Hendrickson, number 91 there on the right end spot. He's going to get double teamed here. Tight end's going to chip. He's easily going to discard him and kind of just let him go into his route, which is fine. As long as you're not getting hung up too long on him and still gaining depth up the field, which is what he does here. So just quickly discards and just nice rip move because he's already got the angle on the left tackle there. His head hits Joe Flacco's right arm, causes a forced fumble. That's what it looks like. Sack number 2, he's standing up in a 2-point stance, which is fun because the Bengals are bringing on a blitz, bringing some pressure, showing a little bit different defensive front up here. And this one's more clear-cut here as he attacks the edge, knocks that outside hand down, rips up with the other arm, and attacks the ball this time with his offhand, his right hand. That's how they teach it, right? When you come around that backside there. And if you notice, Joseph Asai, 58 on this play, that's right, he was out there. He and Logan Wilson with a nice little twist. He gets in and help with the hit. So does B.J. Hill. Recovered fumble by Hill. And sack number 3, essentially closing this game off again. Ball comes out, forced fumble. He's just attacking this outside edge. This is a backup left tackle at this point. And when you see him knock down that outside arm, and again, his
get off is right with the ball here, which I think is key. It's funny because if you watch Joe Flacco, I think he's actually got a little bit of a tell for when the ball's coming in. But I think B.J. Hill gets some credit for this forced fumble. I think they gave it to Hendrickson officially. But, man, it looks like Hill knocks it free a little bit there. Just a dominant game by Trey Hendrickson. They really needed it. He came through again for them.
So Trey Hendrickson, defensive MVP of the game. But probably for the year, guys like DJ Reader. I think Logan Wilson has started off really hot. You know who had a really good game that surprised me? Cam Sample. Honestly, I could have done a video on him. I should have probably. I saved a few plays, so maybe in like a bye week, or maybe I need to string some together if he has another game like this. I probably think he had 4 or 5 splash plays. I bet he didn't have that all his rookie year, to be honest. And I said this, previously, but it was his best career game. Good for Cam Sample, because I think if he's a contributor at that level, that's such a big boost for this defensive line that really I think lacks a lot of depth, especially if DJ Reader is hurt. So really good to see him. We got to see some flashes out of Joseph Osai. They're still rushing him inside. Still not rushing him on the left end. I'd love to see that. Sam Hubbard had a good game. How do you get that guy off the field when he does everything well? You got to figure it out. You got to have more of a rotation there. Got to figure out a way to let Osai rush from the edge, because I thought he did good when Hendrickson had to come out for a series or two. Can't forget about Chidobe Awuzie, though. He is playing fantastic. Lights out. Overall, the defense is really, really strong. But the reason I led with this is because I wanted to show a couple of these plays here. There's one guy I didn't mention. Zach Carter is going to be in this video. He made a nice splash play. He had an up-and-down game. He's still developing. But the splash play was nice. So I included a couple from Reader and our man Logan Wilson. So check that out now. Looking like a young Brian Urlacher. Look at Logan Wilson here running down the Tampa 2 seam, flipping them hips, finding the ball, and getting a nice return on this. What an awesome play, man. We haven't had a linebacker that can do this in a long time. DJ Reader, best player on the team so far through 3 weeks. He's winning as a pass rusher also this year, which is not something he's done in his career, and he's beaten guys consistently. Zach Carter, 3rd-round pick out of Florida. He's going to have to make some plays here on the inside for the Bengals as DJ Reader's hurt. We like that one right there. We'll take that. And here's Reader, of course. Had to put 2 plays in here because the run defending, nose tackle, taking on the double team, and just causing havoc, man. Some splash plays there from our best players on the Bengals defense. You know what I mean. But point being is they got it done. They've got a short week here. I also watched that Bills-Dolphins game. That was a slugfest. That was an AFC North type game, only in 110 degree, 120, I think they said on the field. Heat. Guys are going out with heat stroke, getting IVs at halftime. It was wild. The defense played 80-something snaps, I think, for the Dolphins. It's going to be interesting that they got to play on a short week and come up to Cincinnati, where the home team typically wins on Thursday night. If the Bengals can get back to 2-2, they'll be right back in this. They'll feel pretty good beating a 3-0 Dolphins team. I think they can. Dolphins defense likes to blitz a lot. Burrow's typically good against the blitz. He hasn't been yet this year, so we'll see if he can, break that off this season. If you remember, the Jags game was also last year, Week 4, Thursday night game. That was halftime, 14-0. The Bengals stopped the goal line. I don't remember who was Robinson still playing at that time, or did he get hurt that game? Doesn't matter. That's my mind going off. Anyways, point being is they figured out second half of that game. Burrow lights it on fire. Remember, it can't zero me. That was against the Jags because he hit that screen pass to C.J. Uzomah on that last drive where they needed the field goal. Well, he's going to get zero coverage against the Dolphins. He's going to get a lot of it. They blitzed Josh Allen 28 times in one game. Burrow's been blitzed 32 times this year total. They're coming. It's going to be interesting to see if they can pick it up, if they can protect him. They're going to make you throw short. They're not going to give you that long stuff. Man, I can't wait to see that one. I'm going to be there. If you guys see me, make sure you say hi. I would like to meet, people that interact and consume this content and have like interests like the Bengals. We all like this stuff. So come up, say hi, feel free. That's it for the Bengals on the Brain this week. Let's get to 2-2, right? Let's hope this offense can. That was the spark last week they needed to vary it up just a little bit. Playing against the Dolphins here, continue that. And it feels very similar to last year if that happens, right? If they come out of this game, They were 3-1 last year because they got that overtime win against the Vikings. They should have had the overtime win against the Steelers. Should have had a regulation win. But they'd be in the exact same spot. I don't feel as good about it because I want them to be even better than that. Point is, they can get back on it right now. So, thanks for watching. Make sure you click like, subscribe, comment down below. You guys always are commenting and having conversations down below, so that's good. Feel free to ask questions. I like to answer down below also. Down below one more time. Okay.